Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, RR Slugger, and wouldn't you know it, today we hit that special milestone, 1,012 subscribers. In order to commemorate the occasion, I present to you the RR Slugger's 1,012 subscriber special. Just a word of caution, if this video feels at all like it was slapped together at the last minute to crunch for a deadline, well, it's because it absolutely was. 2 weeks ago, I released my thoughts on the retirement of Trans Neon Orange, and I guess YouTube decided the world needed to see that video. Since then, it's been an unexpected flood of subscribers every day. A few days ago, I finally clued in and realized this wasn't going to end anytime soon, so I had to get my slug in gear and start work on this project. Speaking of which, what are we going to look at today? Well, since this is Slugger's first time breaking into quadruple digits with the subscriber count, I thought we should look at the first time LEGO broke into quadruple digits with the piece count. Set 5590 Whirl and Wheel Super Truck. The Whirl and Wheel Super Truck is often credited as the first LEGO set to contain more than 1,000 pieces. Originally released in 1990, the only similar-sized LEGO products that preceded it were Samsonite and Dacta boxes, which I guess you could count. The Super Truck is sometimes robbed of its prize by not being considered system-scaled, whatever that means, but for the record, it is. I checked. For whatever reason, some sites list the part count at 1,026, other places list it at 1,063, but I'm going with what LEGO themselves decided and printed on the box, 1,012. Oh, now the video title makes sense, yeah. Model Team was a LEGO series that ran for 13 years, starting in 1986 and ending right around the debut of Rock Raiders. Model Team featured many large vehicles with complicated builds and was targeted primarily at adults. Essentially, LEGO's been doing the 18+ shtick a lot longer than many folks realize. Actually, imagine LEGO's current 18+ series had a baby with their Creator 3-in-1 series. That's basically what Model Team boils down to, complex designs with a focus on reusing parts for alternate builds. It's a unique idea for an ongoing series, one that many people would like to see return, myself included. While Model Team sets provide you with instructions for multiple builds, the series unfortunately commits an unforgivable sin. Stickered assembly is the term given to the practice of placing a single sticker over multiple pieces. On its own, this practice was not at all exclusive to Model Team and was in fact something of an epidemic that plagued a lot of 90s LEGO. However, Model Team decides to twist the knife even further by being a 2-in-1 series that, because of the stickered assemblies, doesn't allow you to build the alternate model. Before you ask, no, the stickered assemblies do not carry over from model to model, so effectively you have to choose which of the two builds you're going to permanently construct and display. At that point, you might as well use some Craggle for good measure. So if you're looking at my Model Team photos and wondering why some stickers are missing, remember that this section of the video is titled Unforgivable Sin for a reason. Let's talk about the main build for the Super Truck. Using all of the pieces included, we can construct 3 interconnected builds: a tractor-trailer cab, a helicopter, and a flatbed trailer. The cab has a real flat-nosed look to it that I really dig. I find that the model really demands your attention, and I kinda like that about this set, given its claim to fame. I find many of LEGO's larger vehicles that are too big for minifigures to actually fit Fabuland figures better. Don't be startled if you see a few of these critters pop up throughout the video. The Super Truck has a built-in steering system that turns the front wheels while you rotate the spare tire. This is a great integration of a play feature that hides away into the details of the model when displayed. The second build is that of the helicopter. With an ambitious design utilizing various slopes and plates, I find it fascinating to see what LEGO designers had to do at the time to create certain contours. Personally, I'm not in love with the color scheme on the helicopter. I think the red, black, and gray works much better on the tractor cab than it does here. With that being said, I do think there is something compelling about the design overall. Besides the terrific spinning rotor blades, both front and back, the only other moving parts are these flip-up locks to secure the rotors while on the trailer. Speaking of which, the flatbed trailer is a trailer with a flatbed. There isn't a lot to say about it. It's essentially a glorified display stand for the helicopter. Moving on. There's sometimes been some confusion as to what this particular alternate build is supposed to represent in the real world. I think it's fairly safe to say that it's some sort of airport emergency or utility vehicle. The low profile would be perfect for driving underneath wings to service planes or put out fires. This model retains the same turning mechanism from the main build, while also offering us new intricate details along the exterior. The rear section houses some service equipment, and overall I would give this build a strong recommendation. It does only utilize half the pieces in the set, however, which kinda defeats the point of its claim to fame, really. The most painful part of this build was removing 4 of the tires from the rims to be used in these turbines. Let me tell you, after spending 32 years attached to their wheels, these tires did not go gently into that good night. As you can see here, the instruction book is quite thin for a set with 1,000 pieces in it, much less one with an included alternate build. They are laid out well enough, but given this set is from the 90s, you're going to be playing a lot of spot the difference every step of the way. It's important to... Wait, what's that? Is that another alternate... This one was a journey. It started with a single picture, no instructions, 1,012 pieces to work with, and a deadline. So I immediately bailed and searched online for help. To my surprise, I quickly found it. Someone was even selling instructions on Rebrickable. With instructions in hand, I hurried to assemble the alternate build. It wasn't until I was about halfway through that something felt fishy. There were parts of this build that were so clearly wrong, intentionally wrong even. I began to get the feeling that this was some sort of modification of an alternate build. Well, that's no good. I tried going off book at this point, but with the deadline fast approaching, I decided to do some more digging. As luck would have it, I managed to find another listing on Rebrickable for this specific alternate build. This time, the instructions were free and were posted 3 years prior to the other listing. Looking them over, the presentation was definitely different, but the build was eerily similar. I decided that I would pick up on the build where I left off and chugged along. Nearing the finish line, I made an unpleasant discovery. So I don't know how well the camera's gonna pick this up, but hopefully you can see there's a little bit of a gap. Here and here we can see that other gray stud sticking through. It's supposed to be flush all the way through, and what ended up happening is I built this top section using the new instructions and the bottom section using the old instructions, and somewhere along the way I guess the wires got crossed, and now everything up here is sitting one plate too high and it's not sitting flush down with the bottom. I estimate there's about 150 pieces on top of here, so we got pretty far, but we're gonna have to start ripping to go back. Sometimes you've got to go backwards to go forwards, you know? Well, here we go. Yep. Yes. Yep. Like I said, this build was a journey, but here we are at the finish line. And the model, it's pretty good. It's okay. It's a truck. Yeah. It sure looks like a truck. Would I recommend building this alternate build? Yeah, if you use the free instructions. Would I recommend copying someone else's work, modifying a few bricks, and selling it as your own? In the end, we are here today to celebrate the fact that 1,012 people saw one of these videos and clicked on a button that said, "Yes, show me more like that one." To those people, I say, "Are you out of your mind?" I say, "Thank you." This all happened much faster than I expected, but seeing so many people interact with this channel has left me very humbled and very wealthy. Because we've now hit that essential YouTube critical mass, I'm ready to reveal my master plan, a 3-tiered member subscription service with a yearly opt-out renewal plan. All joking aside, I don't want your money. I make these videos because they are fun. I don't make them to turn fans into customers. Thanks for watching, everyone. I've been your host, RR Slugger, and I'll see you next time for some birthday festivities.